Good morning, everybody. It's Javier, and I'm super excited to be with you here today to share with you, information that I believe, in my opinion, can help you dramatically increase your income and your overall success and the difference that make in people's lives. I want to thank everybody who's out there doing what they need to do to make sure that they are definitely on track for success. A lot of people want success, but are just simply not willing to put in the work or make the changes or do whatever needs to be done. And so I just want to take a moment to congratulate and thank everybody for that. Now, we have a very good presentation that I'm going to share with you here today. So if you just bear with me while I'll go ahead and load it up, I would greatly appreciate it. I just want to let you know that today we're going to be talking about something that should be near and dear to your heart, which is how to grow your team. And that's something that you want to make sure you understand how to do. And the reason for that, okay, I just want to make sure that the PowerPoint was coming up, and it is. And the reason that this is true is because of the simple fact that being just a personal producer can be a very challenging thing at a lot of different levels, if you would. Number one, something might happen to you where you cannot produce, and then your income suffers. Or if you are gone for an extended period of time because you're on vacation, production goes down, and so on. And so I'm not saying there's anything wrong with personal production. I'm just saying just make sure that you go ahead and learn how to leverage the time, the talents of other people so that you can go ahead and maintain your income, and regardless of how much you are personally producing. I've done a ton, and I emphasize the word ton, of personal production years ago. I'll be the very first to tell you that I don't do a lot of personal production now. And that's, for me at least, that was part of the dream, to be in the position where I don't have to personally produce in order to generate the income. And that's just the way that it is. I don't apologize for that. I know how to produce in all areas. I just simply did FFS, and I continue to do FFS because the lifestyle it affords me. That's what brought me to the table. I wanted to spend more time with my kids. I wanted to spend more time with my wife. Now I love to spend time with my grandkids. I love to travel. Whether it be yesterday, I was at the Rainforest Cafe with my grandkids. The day before, I was at the LA County Fair. I was at a private event 2 nights ago as well. And people ask me, when the hell do you work? And well, that's the essence of building a team. That for me, it's never been about the money. It's about the freedom and the lifestyle to live life on one's terms. That's what I think. I know people that make a lot, and I don't mean a lot of money, but yet have no freedom, have no time to enjoy it. And I've been there and I've done that. And I told myself never again. So if you are interested in building a team, I'll give you a couple of pointers and some resources here today to help you do that. And even if you've never built a team in the past, everybody had to start at some point in their life. And I think that they would be a good start for you to, at least in your mind, go ahead and consider, if not work on building yourself a team. Stupid question that I'll ask you right now. Why did you join FFS? Anybody?
My retirement.
Okay, for retirement. Good answer. Thank you. Anybody else? I mean,
well, you always ask me this, Javier. How did George find me? So I had just been actually, when I joined FFS, I had just gotten my license. So I was responding to a Craigslist ad.
Why did you join? Why?
Well, I really liked George when I met him. I had met with a lot of
What
different...
about that though? But why were you in the market for an opportunity is what I'm getting at though. Why join?
Freedom, definitely, because I have always been a W-2 employee. And so I wanted to be able to, work on my terms and have unlimited potential of income.
Okay. I mean, and that's what I was getting at. That, the really only 2 reasons that I know people joined FFS is, number one, to make money and the freedom that money can mean, or to help people. And the point of it is that you will do more of both with a team versus by yourself. I like helping people. I like securing people's financial futures. And I'm happy to report that I do that. And I've done that with thousands of people directly and indirectly through the power of the team. The same thing with income. Without the income, money's not everything, but it definitely ranks up there with oxygen. And because of that income from the team primarily, one is able to do what one is able to do. And so that's what I'm saying. Thank you. No, I mean it. And so it's really important. And we're going to talk about that right now. Just 1 second about George, because I got to cover something else as well that I'll get to here in just 1 second. So let's go ahead and get started. And I'm going to talk to you today about leveraging the power of Eventbrite. Now, what's Eventbrite for? Anybody know what is Eventbrite?
Doesn't announce events and sell registrations to events.
Okay, anybody else? Nobody knows. Spit it out, guys. Otherwise, you know me, I'm going to wind it down and end it here very, very shortly if I don't get it.
Marketing.
I'm not here for my health.
A marketing tool to get information
now
out
we're
to
going
the
there.
masses.
Now we're getting there. Stephen is right, 100% right. And now you are 100% right in regards to what it is that I'm going to be angling this towards, which is a marketer's tool, a marketer's dream tool come true is what it is. Most 99% of the people.
He looked me in the eyes and he said, Joel, it's not the size of the person that matters. It's the size of
somebody. Okay, I don't know who that was. Anyways, and so the point that I'm making is that it's very, very true. It's a marketer's dream come true as it relates to that's what I do. I love to market and I love to build teams. Me personally, I would be lying to you if I told you that I just can't live without personal production, because that's just simply not true. Whether it be in the life insurance industry, we surpassed $1 billion in face amount with just my team. In the mortgage industry, we surpassed $1 billion in production, just the team that I built. And in many other industries, including real estate, over $1 billion of real estate bought and sold through people that I personally sponsored and the teams that I've built. And again, that's what I do. And I would lie to you if I told you that half of that production came from me, when in reality today, probably 99.5% of the production and all that I touch comes from teams that I build. And so I'm telling you that because it's a lot of times, it's amazing how sometimes people confuse a position with a goal. And so I didn't wake up one day and say, I want to be a life insurance agent. I never, ever in a million years said that. I never dreamt it. I never thought it. I wanted to be a Marine when I grew up. I'll talk about it in just 1 second. That was since I was a kid. I wanted to be a police officer. That was a dream of mine. And I got a chance to do that as well. But I never dreamed of, carrying a briefcase around in a laptop and selling IULs to people. I never did that. But what I realized very quickly was that a very efficient way. It is a very efficient way to generate the resources that one needs to live life on one's terms. And that's something that most people don't get a chance to do. And I want to make sure that I at least do my part to help you achieve that as well. Talk about blast from the past. FFS posted this on social media yesterday. This is very old. This is actually my mom back in 1990 when I graduated from boot camp. That's me in the Marine Corps uniform with that gun when I was actually still in the service. And so anyways, I guess they're doing a highlight of her, there it is, military appreciation. I didn't even read it. But like I said, those were my dreams back then, but nowhere does it show anything about life insurance. And so that's just the way it is. But as you can see here very quickly, I do believe in the Marine Corps model of earn, never given. And that's why I want all of you to do what you need to do to get yourself from where you are to where you want to be. It's amazing how many people love to talk, and they talk, and in my opinion, they talk too much. And it's important to make sure that you're not one of those people that spends the rest of your life flirting with the success, the goals, the incomes that you deserve, but you failed to pull the trigger on it. And as a result, you didn't do that. A question that I do have for you, and this is only if you have an answer to give, spit it out very quickly. The question that I ask myself every Sunday, and I usually ask myself this on Sundays because that's when I have the most time to myself. And the question that I ask myself every Sunday, and I know it sounds pretty silly, but remember, who should be keeping you in check as it relates to your success? Who? Anybody? Who needs to be keeping you in check? Anybody?
You.
Yourself. How do you do that? I mean, like, is there a systemized way of you doing that? I don't know if I hope you do, of course. But what I mean by that, hold on, let me back up a little bit. What I mean by that is one of the questions I ask myself every week, every Sunday, and I know this sounds a little stupid, but that's just me talking to myself, is Javier, what did you learn this past week that will help you get to the next level in the coming week? Because let me tell you, one of the worst things you can ever answer, one of the worst things you can ever tell yourself is that you can learn. Okay, so somebody's unmuting themselves. Guys, don't unmute yourselves, please, because you're going to get booted. Unless you're going to answer up. And then once you do answer up, do me a favor, just mute yourself back up. Do it on your own so that we can do that. And so the question that I was asking you, what did you learn this past week? What skill did you pick up this past week that's going to make this coming week a better week than the last week? because there's nothing sillier than a grown man or a grown woman can do than to expect to have a better week this coming week, dragging the old version of yourself into this new week from last week. That is silly. That is the silliest thing a grown man or a grown woman can do, to really, really expect better results this coming week when you haven't brought anything new to the table. Come on, that's ridiculous. And so that's why I ask myself, and I hold myself accountable every Sunday, what did you learn, Javier, this week that's going to allow you to be successful in the coming week? And if the answer is nothing, now don't get me wrong, there are times when the answer is nothing. If I'm on a cruise in Europe, the answer might be nothing, because I was in a cruise, even though I did learn a lot because of the fact that we have this thing called the internet, of course. If I'm in Cabo for a week, it might be a nothing, but even though there, I like going there to learn more on vacation. So again, it's different. Vacations means different things to different people, but I understand how incredibly difficult, listen to me, it is incredibly difficult to get from where you are, where we are, to where we deserve to be. And it's difficult by design. I mean, I hope you understand that. It is part, you have to go through the test in order to get to the testament type of thing. And so again, what did you learn this past week that's going to allow you to become a better version of yourself in business and life? And I'm just talking about business here, by the way. What did you learn? What skill did you pick up? And the only thing that does fly from time to time, there's only one thing that will fly. If you didn't pick up a new skill, you must have at least refined an existing skill. What did you learn skill-wise, tangible? I'm not talking about how I reflected on this. No. What skill did you pick up this last week? What amount of knowledge did you pick up this week that could make you a better leader, that could make you a better producer, that could make you a better builder? The worst thing you can tell yourself is I was too busy producing, or even worse yet, of course, I was too busy finding excuses to not produce. Because if you didn't produce anything this past week, you didn't build, meaning you didn't recruit anybody, and you still didn't pick up a skill, then the problem is clearly you and your priorities. And so you're going to have to go ahead and have a conversation like I have a conversation. I had a conversation with myself about a month ago about the changes in certain industries going on. And at the end of the conversation, the decision was made to refocus, and it is what it is. And I'll maybe cover that a little bit later. So, ask yourself, what skill did you pick up? And I don't care how young you are, and I don't care how old you are. And the older you get, the more you better get on the ball, because they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. That's true to a certain degree, but that same dog is going to die the exact same way he was 20 years ago. And so we're here because we want more of something, more income, more security, more peace of mind, more freedom. We're all here for that reason. And so I ask you, what did you learn this past week? Now, honestly, don't make stuff up, but did anybody pick up any new skills, tangible skills that you can say, here, this is what I learned this past week? Anybody? And so if not, I'm telling you, go ahead.
Well, I think probably what I did learn this week was the scale of our events that we do. I attended a very large event that was organized with the help of local business owners to do giveaways and reward students for attendance and grade point average. And it was eye-opening. We do the sports equipment giveaways at the schools, but now my vision has been stretched now that we could do much more. We could do much bigger, and we could do it in alignment with local businesses, which is only going to expand our business that much more.
Sure. Yeah. I think that you're right. It's amazing how much more we could be doing in regards to what we are doing. And so that's what it is. Now, did anybody else pick up a skill? I mean, and I'm talking about, how many people tell me, I don't understand Canva. Oh, if you can help me out with this. I just don't like this computer internet thing. Okay, then stay where you are and don't complain. Go ahead.
Well, Javier, one of the things that hit me this week was a phrase, it's not about where you want to be. It's about where you want to be, not where you are. And part of the mindset was looking at, we tend to focus on the negatives opposed to the positives where we're going. So when making phone calls, if we get 6 to 7 rejections, we tend to focus on that opposed to maybe the 2 or 3 yeses that we get, and being focused on the goal versus what has happened in the past. So always be looking forward and don't get stuck on what didn't happen, but focus on what you want to happen.
There you go. Thank you. And that's very well said. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. Pick up something new that refocuses you on what you really, really want, versus most people are conditioned. And that's the word, conditioned, to focus on what they really don't want. It's amazing how you'll go and see a crash, if you would, where on the way to Vegas, there's nothing but desert and a car spins out and crashes, and somehow it ends up wrapped up around the one telephone pole for 1 mile. And in most cases is that when that went down, the person can say, oh my God, not the pole, don't hit the pole, don't hit the pole. And guess what they hit? The damn telephone pole. And so the point that I'm making is that you got to pick up a new skill somewhere that's tangible, that the week after you can look back and say, because of that, I was able to achieve this. For most of you, and for a lot of people, a victory would be just start trying. Just start trying. And that would be a huge, huge benefit. So what did you learn this past week is something you got to ask yourself, because the way I work, if I'm not going to be doing what I need to be doing in anything I go after, I get out of it. There's nothing more torturous than blaming yourself and wondering why God hasn't blessed you with success here. Well, because you haven't blessed yourself with the activity. That's why. And so I think it's important for us to take ownership of our business and our life. I also want to remind everybody, we're almost sold out. We do have the location for the Kaizen certification workshop. We do have a confirmed special guest speaker, which is going to be Victoria Lee. It's Friday, June 3rd and Saturday, June 4th. And just so you know, this is the exact same concept that Shirley Liu and Mr. Vu have used to get to their third diamond, or a good portion of their success and income comes from Kaizen. And so I want to congratulate them on $1 million in cash flow in a 12-month period. Also, FFS got awarded the #1 agency within NIW, which operates the whole Kaizen operation. And so within all of NIW, FFS is the #1, and within #1, we've got Shirley, and then of course you've got Miss Victoria Lee, who just joined the $1 Million Club with NIW as well, and she's going to be coming to be a guest speaker for us. And so it's just a tremendous, tremendous event. You guys all know the rules. You have to be part of my team. 0 exceptions. And when I say that it's sold out, I guarantee you somebody's going to look behind them and say, Javier, why did you do this? There's like 50 empty seats in here. And the answer is by design. Between NIW, the conversation I've had with NIW, with Sandy Dos Santos and myself, we've all agreed, and I agreed, and they agreed to hold it to just simply as close as we can to the 20 people, because beyond that, it turns into just a generic seminar that it's not. This is going to be interactive, and it's going to be life-changing, I think, for 2 to 3 people in that room. Now, I don't know who those 2 to 3 people are going to be, and so I'm just hoping that it's you. Now, I gave you the actual information on how to request to attend. If you have the production, if you have everything that's required, you're part of my team. This is the flow code. You know the rules. Take out your phone, fire up your camera. It'll go ahead and open up in your browser. And that takes you to the Google form to request. Please understand that it's just that, a request, and the no's are not being sent a response. They're just simply ignored. It's very, very simple. I believe this is going to play a key role in the income of our team in the second half of the year for quite a bit of people. And by quite a bit, I'm talking about 3 to 5 that will have substantial increase in income. And that's because, of course, they went ahead and implemented. On top of that, please don't be the one that shows up to the Kaizen event and you're not registered for the convention, or that you're not coming to the convention. Belief plays a huge, tremendous role in the success that we achieve. And just like somebody else very truly said earlier, we bring the experiences of the past. I've been to this thing before, or I went through the other conventions with the other company and it ended up costing me more money than I made. And if that's how you feel, bless your heart. I'm not going to tell you that you're wrong or you're right. That's not for me to decide, but that has a lot to do with that. So like I said, if you're coming to Kaizen, please don't show up unless you are registered for the convention, because remember what we talked about last week, the key word, the word of the week last week was congruency. There has to be congruency between what you want and what you are doing. And this is a key part of that congruency. If you don't have it, you can log into the FFS back office or scan the flow code on the screen right now to take you to the registration page for the convention. I will tell you that those that haven't registered yet, the chances of them making it to the convention and then succeeding overall, slim to none, and Slim is on vacation for the summer already. And so that's just the reality of it, because the cost is only going to continue to go up at the door. And so if you're not going to go, you're not going to go. The block of rooms for the Paris hotel is sold out as of this past week. And so therefore, either A, the good news is Paris has very good rates if you just book it directly with them still. You can stay next door at Bally's, which is connected to that tunnel underneath to the actual Paris Convention Center, because they share it. And it's the same thing as just simply going there. And so whatever, do what you have to do. If you really are serious about success, go ahead and register, get your book. If not, there's another common denominator in those that just simply don't make it. This is who we have registered so far on the team for the convention. You'll see the names of the people right there, and I thank them for that. But we are missing a lot of key players that are talking the talk. And so, like I said, either you're there or you're not. I will never call somebody on an individual basis, hey, where are you? How come you're not registered, even though FFS is asking us to do that? I think that if we are leading a group of grown men and women, we shouldn't do that. The last thing I need to do is make somebody feel so guilty that they want to show up when they really don't want to show up. Don't do it. I can tell you right now, for 6-7 years, when I belonged to another company, I was made it a point to never go to the damn thing, because I always tell them, like, I'll go to your little convention when I make money. And I never went, and I never made money. So I don't know which one came first, because I never went and never made money, or because I never made money, I never went. But when I joined here, I made a decision to just show up and go. And so it also gives you a snapshot of the people that you have on your team. This has also a lot to do with who I push, who I support, who I give a lot of tools outside of what I hand out on Saturdays, because of the simple fact that I need to know who's who in the zoo. And this tells me a lot, and I do mean a lot, as to who I should be focusing on, because these are the people with the highest level of belief as well. So now let's go ahead and get into Eventbrite.
Javier, I have a question real quick.
Go ahead.
Who's in charge of that? Because is Octavia still in charge of that? Because they were supposed to give me credit for last year, and it's not showing up. That's why I haven't registered.
Octavia.
So
Reach out to Octavia.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. So like I said, we're going to talk about Eventbrite, and what was said earlier was very, very true. Eventbrite, 99% of the people know it as a registration tool where you can go there, reserve your tickets, you can go there, register for events, and so on. And that is very, very true. And I thank you, Stephen, for saying that, because that's exactly what it's intended to be. But the second part that was also shared was that it's a marketing tool. It's a marketing tool that a lot of people just simply don't understand. And that's why we are here, to give you just a little snippet into what it is you can do to get yourself up and running with Eventbrite. Now, what I love about Eventbrite, as a matter of fact, I'll give you an example. I'm starting my recruiting campaign for the summer next week. And so I'm going to start building my team. And the reason that I'm doing this, just so you know, is that while you should never stop recruiting in building, I do it in waves, because I want to make sure that the people that come in are given an opportunity to do their part and succeed. And if they're not doing their part, well, then get out of the way and let me go get some new people. It's very, very simple. On top of that, I wake up every day and I tell myself the following. All right, I talk to myself a lot, just so you know, because sometimes we all do need a little expert advice. And so therefore, I'll talk to myself. And first thing I tell myself in the morning is, okay, Javier, good morning. Just so you know, your whole team resigned last night and you're starting from scratch. And for me, I tell myself that so I can develop the sense of urgency that I need to have, and we all need, in order to successfully recruit a productive team. And I say that because it's happened to me in the past, number one. Number two, because again, most people subconsciously wake up and tell themselves, good morning, everything is fine. You have all the money in the world. Your team is bigger than you can even imagine. No need to do a damn thing today. Sleep in, go back to sleep. Okay, and they go back to sleep. And it costs them. It costs them dearly. And so for me, we got to humble ourselves. We have to work like, again, we don't have a team. I mean, if you don't have a team, well, work like it. Don't be the one that has no team, wants a team, but yet is doing nothing and acting like they have a massive team. And so as far as I'm concerned, we're always 1 day, 1 week away from the biggest producers quitting on your team. And that's fine with me too. because of the simple fact that I know how to build people. That's a skill I've developed that anybody here can develop. I wasn't born with it. I spent 11 years working for other companies with no team until finally I decided to really become a student of the nature of business. And so here's what I'm going to start. I'm going to start with specialized markets before we go into the FFS system recruiting side, which is friends and family. I'm starting with these people right here. So what does this have to do? Well, usually, typically, what you might want to do is have a webinar, right? Okay, well, you can do that. You can schedule a webinar, which I did, and that's it. Now, how the hell do you get people to your webinar? Well, the answer to that is Eventbrite. Eventbrite is a great tool because it allows you to host events, even if they're going to be taking place online, even if they're going to be webinar based, such as with Zoom, if you would. And that's the beauty of it, because for me, Eventbrite is not to register, because Zoom allows me to register people if I want to before they get to my webinar. But what it allows me to do, a couple of things. Number one, it allows me to receive a lot of publicity, because there's a lot of people searching Eventbrite itself for events. You can do that. And it's amazing. It's amazing how many people find events, things they're looking for within the world of Eventbrite. So that's one thing. The second thing that it allows me to do is to build up my list of very interested people. So what does that mean? That means that if I put an event on Eventbrite and let's just say, put it on Facebook or market it through Eventbrite or email people directly, some will eventually go ahead and register. Now, I might get 20 people to register. Out of those 20 people that register, let's just say maybe out of the, let me put this down for a second, out of the 20 people that register, I might have, let's just say 5 people show up, okay? Now, is that good or bad? Well, that's great, because the money is not gonna be just with the 5 that actually attend, but rather with the 20 of whose emails, names, and phone numbers I have when they registered. And that becomes the $1 million list right there. So it's just like any other funnel. I send it to this many people, this many register, this many attend, but this is the sweet spot right here of all the people that registered. Because see, I'll show it to you in just one second, the ones that register for my event next week, I'm not going to wait until next week to speak with them. I'm actually going to be calling them already as of Monday. And that's what you want to start to do. Build your team, work yourself through this, because it is a process that you have to kind of commit to. Too many people say, no, I don't want to go ahead and build a team, or I do want to build a team, but never get around to understanding the psychology of building a team. And so that's literally what I'm doing. I'm going to start, and you're going to see it from scratch. You're going to be able to follow along if you want to in regards to what I'm doing. Now, I will tell you that this is my header that I use on Canva. And the reason that I use this on Canva is because I use this for whatever company, opportunity, or team I'm trying to build. Now, if I'm looking for loan officers, it's the same template. If I'm looking for solar agents, same template. Life insurance agents, the same template. One of the things that you have to understand to become successful at anything, especially if you want to scale it, is it's going to have to be duplicatable. You're going to have to make your life easier. I'm not going to sit here and rethink this whole thing through every time I want to go start to recruit. And so therefore, I always have my header, I always have the bullet points, and I have an image, because one of those 3 will get the attention of somebody. Some more visual people will zoom in on the actual image of the soldier, the doctor, the nurse, the fireman, the cop, whatever. Others will look at just the headline in red and bold, and others will actually go ahead and look one of those 2 things and then go ahead and swing off to the left as well. Which brings us to the next thing. Now, you can learn the mechanics of how to get people or attract people to you. But the next question, of course, is how do you get them to join? And most importantly, what is it that you have to work on yourself to keep them? Because remember, people join people, they don't join companies. And so when somebody joins your team, they're joining you, which is pretty cool. But the flip side is when somebody leaves your team, they're leaving you. They're saying no to you. They're refusing to follow you. They're refusing to follow your lead. They're refusing you. And so therefore, you got to ask yourselves, how can we increase the chance of people joining us, number one, and then actually sticking around? And the answer is you have to study. And I'm going to actually share a tool with you that I'm not going to share at any other time, because I've done it before, but I'll share it with you only today, which is a great way to understand that. Let me ask you a question. when somebody's looking to join something, what are they looking when they're not the opportunity? Because just so you know, we're not the only life insurance opportunity out there. I think we're the best as it relates to the overall picture. But what is it that people are looking for when they're looking to join? Anybody? And I'll make it even easier.
To be a process or a system that's easy to follow.
Okay, yeah, a system is important. Okay, but I'll make it even easier. Ultimately, the final decision as to whether or not I join a company or an opportunity is going to be based on the person trying to recruit me. Does that make sense? Now, a lot of people lead with FFS. They lead with National Life Group. They lead with IULs. They lead with terms. They lead with Kaizen. But ultimately, the decision for that individual is going to be coming down to how they feel about you. And it makes, in most cases, people don't even know it. Like I told you, when they quit, if you've had a team and they're no longer here, they've quit on you. They said no to you. They did not follow you. And so we have to ask ourselves, if I'm going to go through the trouble of recruiting somebody, I want to make sure that they stick around. Now, I don't know if we have any of these people here, but I'm just thinking of a few. And I'm thinking about the old timers. I know Alan's has been here a little while, but there's people that have been around longer than Alan. He's not here, but we have, I wanted to ask him if he was on board. Joel. Oh, yeah, he is here. I think he's here. He even has his picture. That's him. Joel, how long have you been with us now?
Since we started, Javier, since 2006.
Okay, well, he's been here for a while on a part-time basis, doing great work, doing great things for people. And, you know, it just kind of gives you a testament. And I'm not sitting here tooting my own horn because that's not about me. I'm just simply asking you to consider some things that I've learned along the way that sometimes don't come naturally to us. There are things that I do that are counterintuitive to me. They are counterintuitive to my wife, Marcella. But at the end of the day, I'll give you an example, if I may. Let me just show you this. Again, this is just you and I having a conversation. Me, like a friend of mine used to say, me, you, and the lamppost. That's it. I actually have another presentation that I'm doing after this one. I think it's here. Let me just pull it up real quick. Here's what I want to just show you. Now, this is me this past, hold on, I know you can't see it. Hold on. This is me. Okay, here it is. Okay. This is part of a webinar I'm doing after this one. It's going to take a second to fire up. Maybe. I know one time we had a hell of an issue getting this stuff to be shared. I can't see it on my side. You guys can't see anything. Does it show the little thing going around by any chance?
No, nothing.
Nothing? Okay, hold on. Here's what I want to show you, because it's very important to understand my point. I'm not sitting here tooting my own horn. I want you to understand.
The next webinar is the same link as it was last week?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. And so anyways, here, let me show you this. And I really hope we don't have this damn problem again, but let me try something different then. And so what I'm going to do, oh, here it is. Okay. So I'm just showing you, I just want to show you an image, a single picture, but I want to drive home a point. I hope you understand that that's all I'm trying to do here. Here, let me just get out of this. And I hate when this does that. Hold on. So let me go in here. Hopefully I can show the picture. Okay, so anyway, we'll give it a second to load up. But anyways, make a long story longer, this past week I was at an event and I wanted you to see the image of what I did, where it took place, and at the end of the day, to be honest with you, what it cost. It was just a dinner. We did it at a, I don't know if it's ever going to come up, at a very, very fun place. But most of these people I had never met before in person. I think it was something like 16. There was some people that were there that I didn't know. But what I'm saying is that if you go to your wife or your husband or your spouse or whoever, and you tell them, hey, I want to go take a bunch of people that for the most part, I've never met them in person, and I want to spend $800 on a dinner. Okay, why? Well, because I just want to go ahead and take this group out. I mean, what do you think the average spouse would say, honestly?
She would tell you, go right to your room.
First of all, she's like, and let me guess, you're not taking me along, right? She will be like, take our kids and our grandkids before you take strangers, right? I mean, you see what I'm getting at? That it's just, it's many a times, it's counterintuitive, if you would, to what we would want to do. So let me just try this one last time. If not, I'm just going to give up on this. But the point that I'm making is that, why do you think I did it? Anybody?
To build relationships.
Build relationships, but I'll be the very first to tell you, I don't need more friends. That's the last thing on earth I need, more friends. But you're right. You're getting there, Bob. That's a good answer. I mean, it is. You're right. First of all, to take the relationship to the next level, damn, can you just meet them in person? But then again, I could have met them at Starbucks, right? And it would have been a lot cheaper. What else?
But it also shows them that you're obviously must be successful, that you can just do that.
Oh, well, first of all, that's kind of like a side effect, if you would. You're absolutely right about that. But still, I'm not in the business of impressing people. I'm way beyond that, right? But you're right. That does have a side effect, which is going to come back to what we're going to talk about here in just 1 second. But the point of it is that for me, it was an investment. It was an investment. And most importantly, I want to put, this is just me not telling you this. This is just me telling myself, this is me putting my mouth, putting my actions where my mouth is, if you would. And what I mean by that is I will get at least a 6 to 8 time return on investment before the end of June. Guaranteed, just from that one event. That's how confident I am in human nature, not in my skills, but in my skills to understand and leverage human nature. And lo and behold, it's already showing. The results are already showing. So what I'm getting at is that there are things that you have to do. Now, let me ask you an example. If you're recruiting people to FFS, you're trying to build a team. What are some of the things that, if somebody was recruiting you to FFS, what are some of the things you might not know this consciously, but subconsciously you're looking for? So some of the skills, some of the traits you're looking for in the person that you're going to potentially follow. Anybody?
Obviously, you want to make sure that they have integrity, that they're honest, that kind of stuff.
How do you know that, though? You just met them. You just met her or him or whoever at Starbucks or via Zoom. How?
Good question.
Anybody else? What skills? Come on, guys, hurry up.
A good personality.
That's very important. A good personality will get you very far. Now, will it keep them? I don't think so. Just that alone. Well, but it will definitely set you on the right foot. Thank you. Who said that? That was a very good answer. I don't know who it was, but that was a really good answer.
Maria.
Oh, okay. Good answer. Thank you. Anybody else, please? What else?
I think you look at their track record to kind of see what it is they've done
Okay.
in the past or what they're doing.
Absolutely. You want to see what kind of success this person has had. So having said that, we have to be very careful as to how we display ourselves. If I'm newer, I'm just going to say, look, listen, one of the things that has me the most excited is that you are going to be one of the very few. I mean, you're literally coming in when we're not even on the first floor, we're digging in the basement. That's a first mover's opportunity. So I want you to understand that we are going to literally rise together. I'm not going to come across and say, man, I'm the most experienced team builder. I mean, I can do this. And how many people are on your team? Well, technically, it's just you. I mean, there's no congruency there. So you're so what does that mean? You have to get your spill ready ahead of time until you get there. They say, fake it till you make it. Well, I'm not saying to fake it. I'm just saying that lay it down in such a way that doesn't repel them. Because if I'm going to join you and you tell me you have no team, then that just tells me either A, hopefully you're brand new, or B, you don't know what you're doing. I mean, that's just the way it works. What's another way to deal when you don't have a team yet? You're trying to build one. In that same scenario, what's something else she can do? She has, and I'm not saying you don't have a team, but let's just say you don't have a team. What can she do? Don't lie. Never lie. That's not an option. What can she do? Anybody?
Definitely don't fake it till you make it, like they always say. That's horrible.
Exactly. Okay, so I'm saying no lying. So what can she do? Just let's go to it because I got to get going, guys. Hurry up.
Tell them that what your dream is and what you're hoping to do accomplish in the future, and that you'd love to have them to be a part of it with you.
Perfect. Okay. What else? Real quick. Come on. Somebody else. Come on. What else? Come on, guys. Come on. You got a lot of people that have been around the block for a while. New people. Come on. Anybody. I mean, another very important thing to do is to don't lie and let them know that, listen, I'm here. I'm brand new. You're fortunate enough to be part of the first wave of leaders that are going to be coming up. However, I do want you to meet somebody. And that could be Bob, that could be George, that could be Daniela, that could be Mr. Hatter, who have been here for many years. and are doing extremely well. And so in other words, you'll get the validation from somebody above you. And by above you, I'm saying the hierarchical perspective, not in the personal one. And so you can borrow that, is what I'm saying. You can borrow that very, very quickly. And so that's exactly what you need to do. So let me just fly through this because I'm not going to spend it. No, the part of Eventbrite that I want you to understand that nobody has brought up yet is that they now have a feature that allows you to go ahead and upload email list and send emails to invitees to your event of up to 6,000 cents a day, which is simply incredible. That is just simply incredible. The plans start at $15 a day, which is nothing. I'm sorry, a month, $15 a month, which is nothing. And so therefore you could have all kinds of events planned, even if they are webinar based. I need Eventbrite because of the email capability to hit up 5,000 people. And so that's why I have this event that I'm doing this coming Wednesday. Please don't come to the event. You're not invited. You don't need the link and I don't want you there. This is 100% because one of the things that I like to do is start things from scratch as much as I possibly can. Now, when you know a ton of people, it'll be harder. But at the beginning, for most of you, you're able to do that. And that's a good thing. You can do that. And so that's why I wanted you to understand that you can leverage Eventbrite, not just to host your event, but I would tell you, stay away from physical local events unless you're very targeted as to who you're going to go after. Otherwise, make it web-based, webinar-based. Have your Now site landing page going, because if you notice on my stuff here, what happens is that I create the event, I tie it within Eventbrite, I tie it to Zoom, so I invite them to a webinar. When they register for the webinar, they immediately get an email confirming, oh, first of all, when they click on it for more information before they register, it'll say, do you want to know more now? They click on that if they want to know more now, which takes them to my Now site webpage, where they view the opportunity presentation recorded 24/7, and below it, they request a webinar, or they simply register for the Eventbrite webinar, and they end up in the same list anyways. Does that make sense to anybody? I hope it's making sense. I mean, because at the end of the day, you got to break out of this mold that I don't want to be a life insurance agent, or I don't want to be an MLM, or I don't want to recruit. Listen, then get out, because life is too short. I don't care. I'll be the very first to tell you where the income comes in, where the streams of income coming into my family. All I care is that they're there, that allow me to live life on my terms. And so that's why I want you to understand that you can do that. And the best part, Eventbrite is free. The light version is only $15. And so if you are part of my team, if you're part of my team and you do this and you get stuck along the way, this coming week only, give me a call and I'll push you through. But this coming week only, because here you have the video, watch the recording, and if you're still stuck, move forward. Let me give you an example of what I do. About 8 years ago, no, less than that. I forget when it was. Anyways, we gave everybody a list of life agents that at the time nobody took. We're not giving this away anymore. So don't ask me for it, because I will tell you right now the answer is no. This is a nationwide list. And so what I do, because of the fact that this one has 58,000 life insurance agents on it, that's way too many. So what I do, I cut it down and I start by simply going down and join the Southern California region. And so I just do 5,000 at a time. And every day, the list sends out 5,000 emails automatically. I just program it on a Sunday, and it'll do it for the rest of the week for me. And that's how simple it is. And so when you understand this concept, you can apply this to any opportunity, any company, anywhere. Here, 58,798 life insurance agents. A lot of them are not licensed anymore. But guess what? If you show them how they value, it's just a matter of reactivating their license. If you want the email list, you can go to this website, which is insuranceagentlistdownload.com, and go there and order your list if you're serious about it. If you're not serious about it, well, don't. Either way, don't ask me for the list, because I'm not giving anybody anything. So please do not ask me for it. I have an event, which I'll use. I just want to show you. This is for this coming Wednesday or Thursday. I don't even know where the hell it is. Anyways, it's this coming week. Again, so event or the webinar is not the big deal. For me, it's just a way of getting to people and capturing their information. So I'm showing realtors. A lot of realtors are getting out of real estate right now. They're coming more into the solar side of the house. And so if you look at the header, it's the same thing. Headline, image on the right, another picture on the left, because I want to show more of the human element and making it shorter. Guess what? what I just showed you that I'm doing with the life insurance agents, I did exactly with the same Eventbrite account. And before you know it, within about 20 minutes, boom, this guy named Richard, I don't know where he's up for, he's local, Richard registered for the event, boom, Brenda registered for the event, Glenn registered for the event, Joe registered for the event. And I just stopped because I'm not going to sit here and follow and show you every single email, but along those lines, boom, Caitlin Chen just scheduled, it's for tomorrow, just scheduled actual webinar, one-on-one, because she made it all the way from the email to the learn more here right now. She clicked on that. She saw the 24/7 presentation. And right below it, there's a button that says Zoom with Javier. Click to schedule a webinar one-on-one. She clicked that. So she made it all the way to the basic, almost the finish line. So all I need to do is just give her a little push when I meet with her, and it's a done deal, which is simply incredible. And there's a Calendly. So you can see how everything is tied in, right? Calendly. I told you about Calendly. If you don't have Calendly and you're trying to build something, good luck. But this is part of what I'm telling you, you can also do. Now, if you want to know more about some of this stuff, you want to not, when I ask you, or when you ask yourself next Sunday, what did you learn this past week? I recommend a few tools that you'll have to pay for. Number one is this right here. This is a way for you to understand how to develop webinars that convert. When it comes to my recruiting webinars, I have a 92% sign-up rate, meaning 92% of the people that I meet on the webinar sign up, 92%. That's a lot. That's very high because I follow this format that this guy believes in. And you can go there and check it out by simply scanning this QR code with your phone. Now, I get it. Sometimes you're driving, you don't have your phone. Don't crash. Don't do anything crazy. Watch the recording. Don't text me asking me for the link because I'm not going to give it to you. Watch it on YouTube. You can get the Flowcode code right there. I will give you one thing. This is what changed it for me. This is one of the things that I am grateful for. A guy by the name of Mike Dillard. He has a thing called, and it's been a while for, this is back in 08 when this one came out, called magnetic sponsoring. Have you noticed how sometimes you've got people that do one thing and they build a team, they make money, their people make money, and then they go to something completely different. And what happens? They recruit a team, they make money, and their people are making money. On the solar side, we just started at the beginning of the year building a team, and I'm at 200 people, 200 reps, and ambassadors, as they're called, both consultants and ambassadors throughout the United States. And the production, if I told you, you wouldn't believe it. And there are people that have been here many years before me, and they all want to know, how did you do it? Well, the same day I did it here, the same day I did it at FFS, the same way I did it on the mortgage side of the house. It's the exact same template. Magnetic sponsoring. I will give you a copy of it. I paid for it, by the way, many years ago. Best 20, 30 bucks, whatever the hell it was that I spent. And I'm going to give you a copy. If you want a copy of this one, it's the entire PDF that breaks down into why people say yes or no to you and what you need to do to have people follow you and stick with you. And if that's the case, go ahead and scan the QR code or the flow code on the screen right now to get yourself a free copy of the book. It is going to be coming down. So do me a favor and do yourself a favor. Scan it while you can. And so that is free. But if you are interested in learning more about what we're going to do, I'm going to share with you a secret. And it is a secret because by definition, most people don't know it. And the secret that we're going to talk about next week is going to be how to leverage the power of groups within Facebook. How to leverage the power of groups within Facebook. And if you really want to do your homework, spend your time reading stuff like what you see here on the screen. This is the attractionmarketing.com website. They actually have a live event coming up in July in Vegas that goes into this in a very hardcore way. That's the actual flow code that will get you to that website. And here's another thing that I studied this past week that I have to rave. I don't get, by the way, I'm not an affiliate with any of this stuff. I don't get a penny. I'll tell you when I'm an affiliate. I have no shame in that game, but I'm not an affiliate. And this is something that blew me away that I literally came across this past week. I bought it, and it's the simplest way to describe it. So what do you need to do to recruit and build the team? Very simple. Attract, influence, and enroll. Attract, influence, and enroll. I just described to you how I did it. I tracked through the emails, influence them through the webinar, and enroll them on a one-on-one basis. attract, influence, and enroll. And the cool thing about this, if you really want to get down to it, here's what we're going to talk about next week, which is, like I told you, it's called the $1 Million Group Method. It's on sale for a whopping $4.95. I'm not an affiliate. I don't get a damn thing for that. I'm not going to give you the book. I'm going to teach you on it next week, but I'm not going to give you the PDF. But this is the $1 Million Group Method on Facebook. If you're not going to really give it all you've got, save your $4.95, because it's not a lot of money, but it's still $5 too much to just throw away. And you know who you are. You're just going to buy it, never read it, never implement it. Save the $5 and buy yourself a burger or something else more productive. But if you're serious about this, and I'm telling you, we're not getting any younger. I showed you that picture at the beginning of my mom. She's 80 now. She just turned 80. I just hit 50, for God's sakes. And to be honest with you, I love all of you. I love FFS. I love everything that I do. I love leading teams, but I don't love it that much. In a few short years, you're going to hear me signing off, and that'll be it for me. There's other things I want to just focus on, like full-time travel and many other things that I just want to do, but it takes money to make it happen. So here I am helping people make money so that you can make $1, so that I can make a dime out of every dollar. And in the process, we both go ahead and win. The $1 Million Group Method is what we're going to talk about next week. I'm not giving you that book. You have to buy it at the location that I just gave you on the Flowcode, but it will give you an incredibly important way to get yourself from where you are to where you want to be. Now, here's the Flowcode to get yourself, if you want to order that copy for a whopping $4.95. Again, I'm not an affiliate. It's not my website. I just like the guy because I think he definitely knows what he's talking about. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you guys to see if anybody has any questions, thoughts, concerns before we wrap it up. Anybody? Anybody at all? All right. Well,
I wanted to thank you for this one, because this is right on time for me. I actually started putting some Eventbrite stuff together for an event I'm doing next Saturday. And I also use the Facebook groups and everything to get it out to. And so I'm excited about this information. Thanks.
I will tell you one thing. The best way, what will be the best way? Let's just go back 20 years, 30 years ago, Anthony. You know the importance. I'm not calling you old, by the way. I'm just simply saying that you've been around. And you know the importance of newspapers, right?
Yes, sir.
Let's just say I own the LA Times. Now, is LA Times more of the conservative or is it more of the liberal? Doesn't matter. The point is that, like in any other media, it leans one way or the other. And in most cases, it doesn't lean your way. Obviously, they're going to do what's best for them. One of the secrets you're learning next week is that with Facebook, it allows you to create your own reality. In other words, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but you can see how I influence people by creating a group. And it's me putting out the information and they don't even know it. And so I think you're going to like it, Anthony, especially with all that you got going on as well. Any other questions, thoughts, concerns before we wrap it up? Going once? I hope I didn't lose anybody. Was it all over the place, or did you see kind of where this is going? I'm just trying to get some feedback.
There's a very good information. I definitely been using Eventbrite.
Yeah, yes, I can hear you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, easy to follow. Some things to consider.
It's all going to make sense if you stay on top of it, attend every Saturday, or watch every webinar afterwards. It'll make sense. This when you skip them, that it won't make any sense. But doesn't matter what it is you try to build up, your business, your team, as a realtor, as a loan officer, as a solar agent, as a life insurance agent, as your church. You want to help your church? Learn these skills and your stock will go up. More people will want to be around you because they see more value in you than in other people. So guess what? When we see value in others, we stick to them. When we see that, hell, this guy knows less than I do, we get the hell away from them. And in many cases, that's why they leave us. And so that's why it's important for you to build a team that wants to be around you. And most importantly, sticks with you, not just for 1, 2, 3 years, but for as long as it takes to make the dream a reality. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.